Peace. How are you? This is Sarita Lita Daily, and I'm here from www.blissreturned.com. And today we're talking about why things are not working out with a relationship. Why can you not seem to attract that mate that you want? And why are relationships only lasting for a certain amount of years, and then at the just about the same mark, then suddenly the relationship just doesn't work anymore? Well, we're going to go in on that today because that is something that is very important. And a lot of you are asking for clarity on this, as I've gotten some letters about it, and we've had some consultations about it recently. So here we go. Soba may speak on it, or the ancestors may speak on it, but now I'm going to share with you what has come to me about it. So here it is. The reason why a lot of beings on this planet have not manifested their mate yet, or have them, is because there's one main thing that isn't happening. For one thing, I'll tell you what is happening, and that is there is a lot of external focus. So they find themselves, when they like someone or they admire someone, and then they put all of their attention on that other person, and they shower this other person with all of this affection, all of this warmth, all of these things that makes the other person feel respected. They feel very important. They feel, special and cherished. And they just feel, they're fully engulfed in this person's energy and their appreciation of them. Which is, who wouldn't want that? But there is a thing that happens on the opposite side of that, and that is the person that is doing all the showering and appreciation of the other person. They decide that they're going to do all that they can do and letting the other person know how they feel about them, but they don't do that same thing for themselves. And this very lifetime, for many of you, it is to learn about you. So some of you have gotten a numerology reading from me before. And some of you have your astrology reports. Well, there is one way I can tell you to know whether, some of you know that your lesson, you can see that it is for you to learn about you. Some lifetimes are not so much to externalize and be trying to mix it up with everyone and do all this networking and all that, but it is for you to learn about you. And there is a way for you all to be able to have a loving relationship this lifetime. Those of you who have a number 7 life path, you know about this. And some of you who even have a number 5 life path have a feel of it as well. Even a number 2. Number 9, you may as well. But at the end of the day, everyone is going through a different cycle of life learning lessons. So at some point, this audio will be for you. And so what is the journey into self-realization? What is that? Because that is the opposite of what some of you want. And that is, you want to have that traditional family. Some of you want to have a wife or husband. You want to have children. And some of you have no children at all yet. You've never been married. And you know you have so much to give. In fact, others are always telling you how wonderful you are. And they can't understand why you don't have certain things that they have. Maybe they have those things and you can't seem to get them. And you're a good person. You have good intentions in your heart. but it's not happening for you and you don't know why. Well, today I'm going to tell you that is definitely, indefinitely something that has to do with your lessons this lifetime, because everything is happening for a distinct reason. So as you're reaching out and you're showering these other people with all of your love and affection, all you must do is think about the same energy that you're putting out. Have you done that for you yet? Do you feel the way you feel about others in the same way about yourself? Do you feel the way that you feel about others in the way that you feel high flying about yourself? Do you feel like you're powerful, that you're wonderful, that you're how many different things can you even say about yourself that are positive? What do you like? What do you enjoy? What do you really enjoy about you when you're all alone? Besides, we know what you have to give to the world. Some of you have so much to give to the world. If we asked you to pull a piece of paper out and to write down the things that you have to contribute and give to the world, some of you have so many things. You could fill up a book with it. That's wonderful. You're amazing. It is true. Although some of you don't know it, because you're too busy focusing on putting your affections and attentions on others, that you haven't done the due diligence for you. So if you're listening to this and it feels like this is speaking to you, then most likely it is, as nothing is a coincidence. And what has to happen in order for you to start getting knee deep into your path and of learning and seeing who you are and fully expressing that in all the ways that you desire to, without a filter, feeling good about it too? What do you do? Well, first of all, there are beliefs that are in place about you based off of things that you've experienced in your life, and experiences, things you've seen, things others have told you, things others have shown you, things that you've thought about yourself, things that you thought were you, things that you still hold on to, past hurts that are still with you, some trauma that you still feel. Some of you still feel trauma from even when you were little that you have not let go yet. Some of you know people in the world who can help you to get through the times that you're in now, and to help you to get over to the next level that you know is there, and you want to. You want to do it, but you're focused on something else that's outside of you. You're not doing the work on you. And this is not preaching. It's all out of love, because I know. I really do. It's the life of a healer. Like I understand. I feel you. I'm there with you. So some of us have not had those things. But guess what? That doesn't stop you from being able to give advice and messages to others, because we are all knowing at the end of the day. And you have a sense of that, some of you. Don't let that stop you. Don't let the ego stop you from getting assistance from others who have balanced in a way where they're able to help you. Don't let that stop you from reaching out. Some of you I've seen, some of you have even seen And the ancestors have seen where there are people who know dang well that they really need to get some assistance for their anger. They need to get some assistance in balancing. They need to be recalibrated. They need to clear. They need to let go, and they need to allow. But they haven't done it yet. And so they refer a bunch of other people to do it while they stand aside and watch others rise to new heights. And they feel like they are already there. Some of those life paths, some I've dealt with have been number 8 life paths and number 1 life paths. But certain life path numbers aren't supposed to do the inner work this lifetime on the deepest level, which is why they're not even attracted to doing it in the first place. Because everyone is where they're supposed to be, so it's fine. It's all right. But those of you who do know and are ready to move to the next level, and you're wondering why you have not manifested that mate yet, and you're still looking, and you're trying to go on all these dates, and you want to know, I look good, I'm fine, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, and I'm very intelligent, I'm smart, and I work out. I work out like 5-7 days a week, and I look so good, and my skin, I exfoliate, and you can't understand why it's not happening. And that's because those things that you're doing, though they do matter, because if they make you feel good, then they're important. But for some of you, you have to go a step deeper than that. You have to love yourself in such a way, so deeply. You have to really tune into who you are in such a way that once you meet and go with someone, that you will begin to see oneness. You will see all that which is in them. Because there are going to be things that you're not going to like. Some of you are such perfectionists and you find the details in everything. Some of you can spot a flaw in someone and you haven't even met them in person yet. You maybe have known them for 5 minutes, but you've noticed everything that's not right with them. The only way that some of you will have a meaningful relationship this lifetime is to completely merge with that which is you, and you have to remember it. And even though you're on the planet and you're in a body, the way to doing it is just to keep remembering it as much as possible, to keep returning to that good feeling vibration. That's your shortcut there. Now you can sit in meditation for the rest of your life, but you will not have the fun-filled experience of experiencing the earthly experience and socializing with others, which is a key part of learning who you are, because they're all expressions of you. They're all expressions of the oneness. They're all expressions of the universe, all expressions of God, all expressions of whatever you want to call it. But until some of you do the work on you, you will not be able to have that relationship. Some of you will have the relationship with yourself and you'll fall in love. Not with the ego, not with the outside, not with that. But you'll fall in love with that, with the peace that you feel. You'll fall in love with the peace. You'll fall in love with that bliss, that stillness that you feel that is always, always there. It's unwavering. And it has that love for everything. There's no exceptions in it. Once you find that, and some of you, many of you have experienced it before, you felt a glimpse of that. There's some that fly high on it every day. Not many of them have, though, this lifetime. Many of them are, though. There are a lot. And so as you begin to do the self-analysis, And I use the word self because that's the word that we can understand it as that word, but the self is oneness. I is oneness. I and the self, it's the same thing. But we'll use it interchangeably with the word that is you, with your name, with all of that, because on this planet, those words have been used and taught in school to express Sarita, to express your name and your name and your name. But that is not who we are. And you all know what I'm talking about because I'm speaking the language that you asked me to speak to you in. So the work that has to be done is self-love, incorporation on a daily basis. When all looks like it's not going to work out, when all looks like it's falling apart, you hold on even more. It's not a part-time thing. It can be. It is all up to you. The light that you feel in others, that you're drawn to, is already within you. That's why you're drawn there. There's something familiar, something that you remember, something you recall, something that you want to know more about. My advice, my recommendation is to go and sit with you. Do some writing. Do some writing. Do some poetry. Get into your creative expression and see and find out what it is that you enjoy. Turn off the television. Some of you need to turn off the computer too. Some of you with the video games, because your identity and identifying with that you, that which has no name. You haven't felt it in a long time. And the only time you do feel it is at night when you go to sleep, though you don't even know that it's there. That which automates everything, that you don't even have to ask to happen. So, if you want to get into that, learning more about who you are is where to start if you want a relationship with others. If you want to mix it up with others, mix it up with you. Take time to do that. And some of you are in a relationship now and you feel like it's too late. It's not too late because you can still work on you. But you have to take the time to do it. And the missing link in a lot of relationships is people think they need to be glued together. Because there's an insecurity, they're fearful of being alone, fearful of being left, fearful of being all by themselves, fearful of seeing the truth. So if they stay glued together just long enough, then nobody has to deal with the reality or anything under the surface. Nobody has to go into the depths. Nobody has to go into the water and the ocean to pull out the truth. And I'm not talking about anyone's secrets, because none of that matters anyway. You're not any of them anyway. What we speak about, what I'm talking about, is the light that you see, that you saw in someone when you first met them. It's still there. Some of you have to back away and go and be with you in order to see the light in others shining again. You're too caught up on watching these fake things that are being expressed to you on the news and other areas that aren't real. So go and be in nature. Go sit. Go do something that is relaxing. Take a walk. Get some oxygen. Get some oxygen. It really helps. to see life more clearly. And it doesn't matter what level or stage you think you are in the step of the process, because all of it is a step in the right direction. And as you love yourself more, you'll see doors and people will begin walking through them that you would have never thought would have ever come before you started doing your work. It doesn't take hard work either, because the work feels good. But some of you are so used to feeling bad and working so hard that you think that you have to break your back in order to do what we're talking about right now. You don't. Well, you must identify with you. Some of you will need to go into meditation in order to accomplish this. And some of you will need to do things like draw, color in a coloring book. Some of you need to go out and buy some art supplies. Some of you need to have some patience and need to relax a bit. Some of you need to take up a class of creating something, crocheting. Some of you need to take a martial arts class. So there's different levels and stages of that. But it all begins with self-love. And self-love is being honest about what you enjoy. And it's also unlocking and uncovering the different aspects and facets of the things that you are. There's so many things that you can do to attract a mate. The very basic thing that is going to be most powerful to attract a mate is to go and be with you. You'll be surprised at what you will attract when you go and be with you. And once you do go and be with you, the last thing that I'll say is your soulmates and your twin flames will come even more. As many of you you've already connected with them anyway. And when they come, you'll recognize them. But they're going to want to be in a relationship with you now. They're not going to want to wait. Neither will you. The challenge then is to still give the time to the relationships that you know they deserve, and follow your impulses. If you're wavering back and forth, then you're not ready to move forward. If you know you're ready to go forward, and there is no wavering at all, and you're being honest with yourself about that, there's no subtle manipulation from you or the other to just join this union and mix it up. If it's all of an individual choosing and you're drawn to it, then walk forward into it. Most things can be undone anyway. But if you know that you're really not ready because you keep wavering, your intuition, your inner knowing is telling you that it's not time, then don't do it. Be honest with yourself. A part of ascending is being honest, being pure, being true. Some of you will find next year you're not going to be able to do the same stuff that you're doing today. And some of you can't do the things that you were doing last year right now. So no worries. But in order to attract those types of relationships that you really want, go out and enjoy life. And if you are a homebody, if you are someone who enjoys being in and you're introvert, there's nothing wrong with that. How do you enjoy yourself even more when you're already doing so much of it? And people are looking at you like, are you a hermit or what? It doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is how you feel about you and what you're doing. So in order to feel good while you're doing the introverted thing in the house, Number one, you definitely want to get a little exercise. Otherwise, your body will start working the way that you want it to. Do some yoga. Do something that's active. Do something getting some oxygen. Go out and check the mailbox. When you take out the trash, look at the trees. Look at the grass. Notice things that are beautiful in the world. And express your appreciation for them. That will create more of it. That is your power. Speak to your ancestors, those of you who are patient enough to do so. They will speak to you. Some of you move so fast, nobody's going to have a chance to even have a conversation with you because you're not still. But that's not what you came to do anyway. If you are not being still, then you didn't come for that. So there's no worries. But if you're ready to cross over and do the next thing, then do what challenges you if that's what you want to do. You have the power to unlock all of the things that you want. So that is it. I'm about to go. I need to step out and take my walk. And the self-love thing, there's nothing like it on this planet. So if you're looking for that thing that you it'll just keep you feeling good. You're ready. You're ready to feel good, and you know that. Then that's it. That's the next step. That's the next step. And don't get it twisted. It's not mixed up in a bunch of material things. Although those things may come, it's not that. You'll know it when you feel it. In the meanwhile, check out my website, www.blissreturned.com, and please share, subscribe, and leave some comments, and check out my classes on the website. There's e-courses on there to take as I'm doing consultations and getting busy again. So I still look forward to hearing from you if you need a consultation. You're trying to understand some things and get clarity. That's what I'm here for. And there's nothing more that I love doing than being of service to others. So you all know what I'm talking about. And we will talk soon. And please, like I said, subscribe, share, and like this video. And thanks. Peace, love, and high-flying vibrations.